Okay, what's going on, everybody? Okay, it took forever for the chat to fucking work, but it finally is working. His mic is bugging out. Let me guess. Nope. Is my mic all right, True Woody?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. I was talking, but the sound. Okay, we got 32 people here on a Monday afternoon. It is 12:20, and just yogurt for breakfast. And it's raining out this bitch. I think DC was flooded, so I got my boots on just in case. Let's go over. Huh?
DC was flooded?
I think I saw somebody on my timeline post that DC was flooded, but it's not the first time. But it's kind of weird. Not supposed to be flooding. The fuck is going on? Oh, I restarted the computer. Okay, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Let's go get the 7 recent tabs that were closed that had the rumors. Okay.
What about what you call it? Well, I already know. I saw it.
Yeah, the titles. I want to break.
No, it's not down. Even the title. I saw the rumor. It's not. It's still not confirmed.
You talking about The Last of Us and State of Play?
The Last. Mm-hmm. Yep. Not even the State of Play. The multiplayer for the Last. It's not confirmed by Sony.
This is hold on up.
Unless you don't know what I'm talking about.
What rumors do you have?
That it's supposed to have it's supposed to be
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was able to track down a rumor from 2019 for All Stars. It put me back at 4chan, which is wrong most of the time. But when it was considered with All Stars was about to come out, they were right a lot. They were very right when it came to the leaks. But recently, they have made a running joke of PlayStation All Stars rumors around the time the E3 comes out, and then, or right like a couple months before E3, and then started, and then nothing happens. So not related to any of the All-Star stuff that I've been talking about. I don't talk about it as if it is confirmed. I talk about it as it needs to happen. We have way too many characters, and even if you don't want to put them in a fighting game, you can put them in some other type of game together and make a ton of money and make a lot of people happy. And this is no joke. PlayStation has too many fucking characters. 5 generations of characters. They have more IPs than Nintendo and Xbox combined, and I'm talking about ones they created that still do good.
That is impressive.
And it's very impressive. And again, when we talk about IPs, we were talking about ones they created each generation, not ones that were acquired. Okay, Only the only stipulation for PlayStation would definitely be Sunset Overdrive. They acquired Insomniac, but their IPs were already created with PlayStation. Sunset Overdrive is the only IP that PlayStation did not help create. Again, like true what you just said,
I
very
guess
impressive. Very impressive. 5 generations of IPs. Well, we haven't lived out this generation, so we don't know what the other new IP. So the rumor is that Stardust said the rumor is that Xbox is number one. Let's go to the rumor. It's taking us to the website called Gaming Route. It looks like a very bare bones website. I can already tell this is bullshit because they're the people that picked it up. So let me read this one off. It's very short, by the way. It's very short. It's just like, hey, let me post this on this random website. Let's see if people go run with it. We just gotta destroy this real quick. According to a data miner who has found maps of The Last of Us Part 2, the maps could feature a, again, keyword, could feature a battle royale mode. The data mine maps is large enough to have all kinds of mode. As you can see in the video, the data miner also stated in the comments, didn't mention, but in the development footage, there's a compass and a player count, well, which is usually only used for battle royales. Okay. Oh, and there's also an emote wheel. Oh, look, they added a lot of cool shit with Uncharted 4. Again, looking at this article, I thought it was gonna be bullshit, but this seems pretty believable. Battle Royale is not the end all be all. If you have Battle Royale in your game, it does not mean your game is gonna be a cancerous like Fortnite. It all depends on how the developer plans to implement it. And if you're gonna have other modes, people might not all go to the Battle Royale.
all the moves are.
Mm-hmm. So let me read the last one. I believe this is the multiplayer mode that could come with The Last of Us remake. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because the original Last of Us had multiplayer part 2. Even though part 2 was supposed to, but the development of it, they probably merged teams. I think that if you think of it that way, okay, you got The Last of Us part 2 out, you initiated the 60 frames per second patch, which is pretty much, you're all done with The Last of Us. They got all the awards it wanted to get. You move on to the new development. What do you do to make money off of the HBO show, right? What do? Well, you already had part 2 come out. So you're not going to make people buy the sequel when you're watching the introduction to The Last of Us. What do? You make a remake of the original game that broke all types of boundaries and records, right? Which is something I had talked about when we first saw the trailers for The Last of Us Part 2. Remember, they had remade some elements of the story. You remember that? It was even in the game. Like, when Joel rescued Ellie from the hospital, like that was in The Last of Us Part 2. They remade The Last of Us 1 in some aspect. So I had already been saying it would be a great idea. Then it seems like it actually, the reality, it actually went forward. We can go get a pattern here, and that would be trying to figure out when The Last of Us remake would come out, compared to when the HBO show comes out. I don't think we have a release date for it, but I'm gonna. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we have an active pattern here. So, the show is supposed to come out June 2022, right? Which is next year, around when E3 would start. You release the game anywhere between January and June. Make sure that the multiplayer is ready. and everybody will buy the game. If you're not buying it for the multiplayer, even though you said you wanted multiplayer, you're going to buy it because it's The Last of Us and you wanted to experience that remake. Now, this is where it gets tricky. There were a lot of rumors last year, this year, and in 2019 confirming that games were going to be day and date on PC, right? PlayStation fans, some of which say that, oh, it's all right for PlayStation to put games on PC as long as they don't go day and date. Well, there was a rumor for this one to be day and date, but we see so far that PlayStation does not want to do day and date with their first party. So far. If you do a remaster, if you do a port, if you do a remake, it would still follow those same rules because Demon Souls was said to be a day and date on PC and it didn't happen. So, again, we all have that rumor that The Last of Us multiplayer was going to be day and date on PC. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. PlayStation's not dumb. Okay? They're not that fucking stupid. Your game is going to sell your system. You're going to be sitting around 22 million. You can consolidate the people that already picked up your system for multiplayer purposes or shooter purposes this holiday season to then migrate onto a game like The Last of Us, which also has guns, right? So if you play games with guns this holiday season, you might want to go dabble in The Last of Us, which is a highly celebrated game. So this would only do good as far as selling people on the game or selling people the console if you can find it next year. I think that's realistic. I think this rumor is actually. Let me read the last part. I believe the multiplayer. Okay, there we go. The multiplayer could come with The Last of Us remake, which is apparently in development at Naughty Dog. There could be some sort of director's cut for The Last of Us Part 2 as well, since Sony has been doing kind of stuff. Oh, the perfect multiplayer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, you know what? Okay, so that would be the director's cut. I just saw something in my head. What I saw in my head is The Last of Us Part 2 already got a shitload of awards. You still want to introduce people back to The Last of Us. People hate it, but people love Last of Us 1. The way you can get people to buy Last of Us 2 is by introducing Last of Us 2 as a director's cut next year, which would be in that time frame of, hey, the game has been out for over a year, aka 2 years. We know you don't want to buy it, but we want you to buy it. We're going to have everything you want from The Last of Us Part 2 Director's Digital Deluxe. We're going to mix that with The Last of Us remake of Part 1, right? And we're going to add the multiplayer. I think that's good.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games, but I'm already seeing The Last of Us Part 2 at $20. Whether it's physical or even sometimes digital. I think the lowest it went digital might have been $30. But by the end of the year, The Last of Us Part 2 will be at $20. So you can raise that price. If it's already the value of $20 now, you add the multiplayer, you add the remake, you boost the price back to $60 or $70. That's a director's cut. Remember, we got a similar situation with Ghost of Tsushima. If you don't already have the first one, you're going to get the first one with the director's cut and the expansion as well as the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at a similar situation with The Last of Us. So we have broken down this rumor. We did not have to dive down a rabbit hole because this rumor doesn't look far-fetched. This looks like this looks like it's real. This all makes sense to me. Not as crazy as it seems. Now we still got to destroy the State of Play one, and we got to see if we can do something. So I'm currently pulling up what I believe to be
Jordan is so desperate.
leaked
Very,
gameplay
very
of The
desperate.
Last of Us. This is what we got. So we got the assets trailer. So this is cool. What I'm gonna do, because I have no faith in YouTube not keeping this shit up for too long.
Did you see? Did you see the Ghost of Tsushima armor? The new armor?
Yeah, the green, brown, and gray armor with the fur. The
Yeah.
one, yeah, I saw it. I saw it on Instagram, and before that, I saw it on Twitter.
It looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad at all.
So what I'm gonna do right now, guys, if you don't mind, I'm gonna make sure I put yellow just Instagram message what's going on here. Oh, gotta X.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Some games.
Yo, what we got here? Last of Us 2 multiplayer? What?
Yeah, so we just broke it down. It looks like it's safe to say that it's true. Bring it back, but bring it with the remake. And then since Last of Us is going down into the $20 price point as we speak, you bring that game back out under the hype of the Last of Us show. So what we're gonna want to do is go see what the age of the Last of Us is, and if I'm already speculating, I believe the Last of Us is gonna be on its 10-year anniversary next year. So all of this kind of matches up. You got the HBO show coming out in the 10-year anniversary of The Last of Us. Then you have the remake of the game to celebrate The Last of Us. And for good measure, you throw in part 2 so that when you watch the first, you watch The Last of Us on HBO, you want to go buy the game, you get a reintroduction into the first game, and then you really say, hey, I really want to take a look at this second one. So the second game is going to be in the same director's cut. So you're going to have The Last of Us director's cut with the multiplayer. Again, this gives them a reason to remake the multiplayer that they wanted to introduce you to anyway. But this is what's going to be awesome about this multiplayer. If you're going to have the remake and you're going to have Last of Us Part 2 in that director's cut, we're looking at a situation where the multiplayer is going to have maps from Part 1 and Part 2. You can charge $70 for that type of bundle.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm going with this shit being real. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with this being real. It does not seem far-fetched. I see it working in my head. It seems real.
Okay. Let's hope they listen to you this time, Jay.
They don't gotta listen to me. I know this is just something straightforward. They'd be stupid if they don't bundle this shit together. They'd be. I want to get on over to the state of play.
So, we got some confirmation on the state of play, or is just kind of more rumors?
I gotta read it first. I wasn't able to read it. I want you guys to remember that tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern time, I'm gonna be premiering the very first video for my PlayStation All Stars project. I've been working on that shit for weeks, almost a whole month. Now I got another video that I still wanna. That one's gonna be more of like speculative, but to be honest, I don't think I want to even work on that one until we get our state of play or PlayStation event. So that one will probably be placed in October. So that's what I will do. Again, remember people, we now are in the week that will end in the 20th. Ghost of Tsushima is coming out at the end of the week. We basically got confirmation that Call of Duty.
When I'm at work. They always do this.
Call of Duty Vanguard will be shown off on Thursday the 19th. It's all but confirmed. So it's a pretty packed week. I believe they say on the 18th we're going to get access to the Tales of Arise demo. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So, and there's nothing really confirmed to be happening tomorrow, but we know PlayStation, for some dumbass reason, they don't like Mondays. But let's be honest, that's not a dumbass reason. I don't like Mondays. Nobody likes Mondays. So, we can't really expect them to actually talk on Mondays because they just don't. Between Tuesdays and Thursdays are their talking days. That's just their operation at this point in time. I would only hope that every studio and everybody in the PlayStation organization is hard at work at making sure that we have big ass smiles on our face from whenever we see the PlayStation event onto whenever these games start to pour out at a rate that overwhelms us. So I am only hoping. So
all we can do.
How old is The Last of Us? Yep, we have a pattern. So The Last of Us is 8 years old. You can start to celebrate the anniversary next year because it'll be what, 2012? So yeah, 2013 is when the game came out. Next year it'll be 2022. So the following year will be the real 10-year anniversary. But I guess they just gonna celebrate that shit tomorrow. So I'm saying tomorrow. Next year. So next year they can celebrate the 10-year anniversary of, I guess, when it was shown off, maybe. Yes. I don't know. They can.
Do companies usually do that though? Like a year in advance?
Well, I mean, this is just 10-year anniversary and it's a game, not a system. So unless they really think about doing more with The Last of Us, but if you start the big boom of the hype for everything that is The Last of Us in that year with the HBO show, the remake, the multiplayer, due to the fact that we know the multiplayer will be games as a service, it will outlive the show. It will outlive the single player, even if you play The Last of Us remake of part 1 and part 2 multiple times, you're still going to continue to get content. And then once they get to the 10-year anniversary, they will probably have a 10-year anniversary celebration within the Last of Us multiplayer game, like they normally do with other games. So again, this seems like something. Again, PlayStation All Stars is 9 years old. Next year it'll be 10 years. So Last of Us is 8 years this year. Next year it'll be 9 years. The following year, 10 years. So yeah, I believe it. Let me
Do you think they're holding out for that long for the 10-year anniversary?
Only next year. Only next year. They're not gonna push everything back to the following year. No way. They only gonna push stuff back to next year. Which is, I think it's alright for The Last of Us. You rack up all your awards, you prove people wrong with part 2, no matter how many people hated it, and you push the multiplayer back. However, because you're going to have multiplayer, you have to test those servers. So if the HBO show is in June and your game comes out, let's just say you want to bring out the remake before the HBO show. Well, that's May, okay? So from January to May, you're going to have some sort of a beta. Depending on when the game comes out, and maybe it comes out before May, well, you got to push that up between December and April. So whenever they want to put out the remake with the multiplayer, you're going to have to start testing those servers. The dedicated Last of Us fans that play the multiplayer to this day, they're going to be on there. But you're going to have all these stragglers, people that play Call of Duty, people that play Battlefield. They might be a little bored or fatigued from Call of Duty or Battlefield that's coming out this holiday season, and they might want to dip their feet into the beta of The Last of Us. They might actually go out and buy it because a lot of people still do like The Last of Us, especially the original story. Now, if you're having maps that are recreated with the new Last of Us engine from part 1 as well as part 2, everybody and their mother is going to be playing The Last of Us multiplayer, the new one. Like, I don't see that not being a good experience. So when you think about them putting their all into this shit, now I believe it. Now I understand, because you're gonna have 2 games worth of maps in your multiplayer, as well as new modes, and obviously some classic modes coming back. Pretty interesting when you think about it. Pretty fucking interesting.
Do you think Last of Us is the biggest multiplayer game?
Repeat that. I couldn't really hear that. I want everybody else to hear
I
your
said,
question.
do you think The Last of Us is the biggest multiplayer game?
From Naughty Dog, yes. I believe Last of Us is Naughty Dog's biggest multiplayer game. Yes, I do. I don't see it not being Naughty Dog's biggest multiplayer game. Probably their next to last would have been Uncharted 3. I mean, sorry, 4. Right here.
I can see them doing that.
You are at work, True Woody?
What?
Are you at
No,
work currently?
no, just cook. That's probably the noise you just heard.
No, it's just your connection kind of.
Oh, not actually sure why. Um, hold on.
Guys, I'm kind of fucking around on my computer right now because I want to go. You know what? I'm just gonna go watch it, but it should still be. I don't want to kind of fuck up my shit
My
here.
audio better?
Just a tad bit.
Okay.
Go watch the question. So, I wanted to also introduce one thing I just found out about the beta. I'm finding a lot of things out about the beta. I am deciding if I do a review video on the beta and all the things I find out. I knew I wasn't going to find all this shit out day one. So I wanted to find it out organically. Read certain things on the beta, but I wanted to find out by myself. Sometimes when they have betas, there's certain information they put in the blog, and then there's certain information that's not there, and they change stuff or they fix stuff or they added stuff, and you just find out on your own. This is one thing that I think they had already talked about, but I'm just now seeing it for the first time. We have now a 4th accolade, and that is leader. I don't have that because it's brand new. Obviously, you can really boost your accolades on Destruction All Stars due to the fact that after every match, you can give an accolade to your opponent. Let's go take a look at the video in question, or at least let me just look at it. I don't want to fucking have my channel flagged down. I feel like it is that sensitive. What I do, to protect my own ass. Okay, it's gone. Yeah. I watched that video literally just now. I was wondering, okay, why is my computer not allowing me to download that video? And the reason is the video is gone. The video is gone. So, I can't tell you much about it. I clicked on it. I saw a map, and it was a map. And whatever else was in that lengthy video was more information and videos and proof that The Last of Us multiplayer exists, and it's probably almost about to be shared with us. Yeah, that sucks. That kind of sucks. Yeah, from our podcast that we're doing right now, or our live stream we're doing right now, to this. I watched this last night, Yeah, I watched this last night on Twitch, and then so yeah, the video is missing. I was watching the video. I was just let me go see.
Actually, Jay,
Uh-huh.
the anime you were watching last night, is it good?
I'm not a cat person. Sam liked it, but it was anime, so it wasn't like horrible. Bro, I was just watching the fucking video. I mean, it's still here, but it won't let me save it. Shit is buffering a lot. I got my. I'm watching the video myself, guys. Like somebody was able to go around the map. This is the map when Ellie was younger. I'm just giving you a visual. Map when Ellie was younger. You know the map where they go into the lodge, the little lodging place, and they find like the old survivors or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Looks like somebody kind of like basic. I think I'll be able to show you now. Kind of wish I could this is and this is a different setup, but I'm gonna save this because I kind of like this setup. Duplicate that, call it YouTube. This was our setup yesterday for Twitch. We had to delete a Twitch because obviously Sam really wanted me to watch the cat anime, even though I knew even if I deleted it, they were still gonna catch me, and then I ended up falling asleep. So I'm not sure how many episodes were running. I know he tried to call me
I
on
don't know.
Instagram.
When I came on, you
Oh, they only
already
gave me a
started.
warning, so I'm cool with that. But never again, because my channel might not be big on Twitch, but copyright is a serious thing. So they gave me a warning. There's no harm, no foul. But never again. If we watching any anime together, we're gonna have to watch it. There we go. I just saw you pop in here, Spartan. What's going on? Caught you this time.
My nigga, I just woke up.
Yeah. Good morning. So let's I duplicated this one. I do want to use, but I don't know. I don't even use this one.
Hey Jay, Jay, you read in the chat, right?
No, I'm just fucking around on scenes real quick. We'll use this. What's up? What happened on the chat?
Okay, so Andrew Wilkins said a specific comment, and he's absolutely correct.
Okay, I haven't saw Andrew in a while. I know you still exist. I know you're still alive, but you haven't been on stream in a while. So let me. Oh.
He said, I'm going to rub this in. He said, The Last of Us 2 sales came out already at 7 million, and Ghost of Tsushima at 6.5. Ghost outsold and outpaced The Last of Us 2 by a lot after sales. Ghost didn't have 4 million pre-order sales like The Last of Us 2 did. Now, I want you to really think about that. The fact that not just Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, literally, those two games, like, literally outdid The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Those literally destroyed that game.
I'm not really sure what people want, but I guess I give you guys the real answer, right? Because I'm not a fake person. Bad perception is bad perception. It can hurt you. it could stop doors from opening for you. You know, I know this, and I know this for other people. So whether the game was good, which I do believe it was good, or there were things or themes or leaks that people didn't like, and if they weren't leaked and they saw it in the game, they might have liked it or they might have never liked it. We will never know from those individuals that had a problem with the game that they did not actually buy, but they were influenced to not support it, not to buy the system that the game was on based on the leaks. It's, again, you see all of that shit I'm talking about? Very complicated issue, right? We got a lot of people on the sidelines that are already haters of the console. They are haters of The Last of Us. They don't want it to take any more W's. Wanted Cyberpunk to be a better game. There were so many things going on last year. One thing I can confirm is that the bad publicity that surrounding The Last of Us Part 2 impacted the game's sales tremendously.
Good.
That's a fact. As far as me, JaytechTV, I enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best looking PS4 games we've ever had. And now that it's running at 60 frames per second, it looks great. But again, I want everybody to understand, when you get a bad rep, you get a bad rep. It can impact you in so many ways. That, as a video game, had a bad rep. Is that who I think it is? Is that yellow? No, that's Link. Okay. Okay, what's going on,
The
Link?
game sold very well.
Yeah, but a lot of people, like Spartan is doing right now, Spartan is comparing it to other games, and other games have sold better in a smaller time frame. But it doesn't mean those games are better. And they did not get that type of hate. So now, if Ghost of Tsushima got that type of hate, if Spider-Man got that type of hate, there would have probably been some impact on the sales.
It sold 4.4 million in the first fucking 3 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nobody cares about all that hate shit. People like it still. The problem is, the reason I compared it and I shouted him out for that one right there is the fact that is a new IP from a studio people didn't really support that much with Infamous. Like, there was huge numbers like they did like a Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that its sales is literally only 500,000 behind The Last of Us 2, that's dangerously, that's very scary to me. I told y'all Tsushima was the better game, personally, for me. But The Last of Us is a fucking masterpiece. Not gonna lie. But we know why sales for that game is that close to The Last of Us 2. Especially when it's a sequel and it's the established IP.
Well, okay. I give you an answer because we just gonna go around and ask questions like we don't know. Let me cut to the chase. Japanese culture is big in the United States over the last 20 years. Like me growing up, just knowing how big Japanese culture is. Whether we're talking about Japanese films or we're talking about Japanese culture when it came to food that we eat, or eventually the video games that we consumed, Japanese culture was big. And for a really good Japanese-based game to exist that respected that culture much more than any other Japanese game,
that is not from a Japanese studio.
That's not from a Japanese studio meant a lot to everybody that wasn't even in the country of Japan, but people outside of the country of Japan that respect that culture. So they did good on that. Everybody wanted to see an Assassin's Creed game based in Japan. We finally got that. And it was a PlayStation exclusive. The only place you could play the Japanese Assassin's Creed. AK. So that was one thing that went for it. I feel like if The Last of Us wasn't leaked, the spoiler that wasn't even the ending of the game wasn't leaked out, I feel like people would have went out, brought the game more, then they would have been able to discuss what they didn't like about it. So I don't have a times table for the spoiler. Maybe one of you guys can help me, but I believe the spoiler was maybe a couple months before the game came out, if I'm not mistaken.
It was no, I believe it was in a month.
Was it a month?
It was a few weeks. and the whole internet was talking about it, and it spawned streams, videos, all that stuff before the game came out.
Exactly. So people could paint the look. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of people that like they kind of just watch you play video games, right? And they do that on Twitch in the Twitch culture. You got individuals like that that is just watching people play video games, and they like The Last of Us based off of someone else playing it. They didn't actually experience it, but they experienced someone else playing the game. So when you got shit like that going down,
it's like a TV series, Jay. It's like a TV
like
series.
a TV series, and there we
Yeah.
go. That's
Oh,
what we
hold
got.
on. I hear somebody bad talking about video game.
Is that
Hold
DJD?
on. Huh?
That's DJG. Hey, how about this, bro? I'll let you fight whoever you want. Just let me break this down real quick, because everybody acts like they just so fucking stupid about this stuff, and it's irritating as fuck. So, oh fuck. Hold on 1 second. Alarm clock going off, and I got a picture of myself on the front. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so let me continue. So we got people accepting Ghost of Tsushima as Assassin's Creed set in Japan, which people wanted for a long time, and then we got people hating The Last of Us. Did it sell really good for the first 3 days? 4 million in the first 3 days, really good. But did it have legs? No, the legs were cut off. Now, I feel like you also pissed off your own community by not having that multiplayer there that was there on the first game. Now, remember, when they introduced multiplayer for Uncharted, it always was there, right? When you introduced multiplayer for Uncharted 2, Part 3 got multiplayer, Part 4 got multiplayer. You even got to access Part 4's multiplayer through Lost Legacy. So multiplayer was always a part of it once you introduced it to that series. That's what a lot of fans expected. So, again, you cut your own legs off. I don't think the game is bad, but I can't change other people's perception of the game. If they want to hate on the game because somebody else is mad that Joel died, then they gonna hate off the game based off of somebody else being upset about something that they never experienced because they never owned the system that you could play The Last of Us on. Do y'all understand now? There are people that have opinions on The Last of Us that never owned a PlayStation 3, 4, or even 5 to play any Last of Us games on. They're just in the background creating more noise. The people that loved the game went out and brought the game. They had the system that the game was on.
Wow. I like how everybody just gave JayTech respect to just speak. Everybody muted their mic.
So,
That's a real shit.
so that's just how it is. Like, I can't think. Let me put this in
This low-key sound like damage control. But
let me put it this way. When your mind is warped by somebody else that does not know shit, and you're planted the seed of, I'm gonna think this because someone else think this, or a group of people think this way, so I might as well just think this way, you're weak. I can't think of you of being a strong person. When everybody else gonna hate on something, so you gonna say, oh well, I'm not gonna do my research. These guys hate it, so I guess I might as well hate it too. People hate The Last of Us Part 2 because Joel died early and it got leaked out. But the people that hate it or claim to hate it, they don't understand that Joel killed Abby's father in the first game at the last stage of the game when you were running around the hospital trying to find Ellie because they were going to cut her up to get the fucking cure to save humanity. Joel fucked humanity. Joel killed the father of Abby. Abby came back in Part 2 and put a golf club to Joel's head. Very simple. Now, it's a revenge story. The people that hate The Last of Us because Joel fucking died, they don't want to tell you that they hate they think that Joel was a hero even though he killed that girl's father. You want to know why? Because they didn't play The Last of Us Part 2. When they started hating on the game, no one knew that you were going to play as Abby and experience Joel kill your father. So when I ask anybody, why do you hate The Last of Us Part 2? I will fight anybody and I will make them look like a retard live on this fucking show. So please, come one, come all. Someone come here and let me know why you hate The Last of Us Part 2.
You ain't gonna get that from me, J-Tech.
Oh, I know I'm not.
Well, you want
Any? Let me get it from you, Spartan. I'm ready for it.
Hold on. Let me go.
Who hates The Last of Us Part 2? Who hates it though?
No, I want to know what your problem is, Spartan, with it. Let me know from your experience. What's your problem with the game?
It's made by
Hold on.
Okay, there you go. Your shit don't matter.
Your
shit don't matter. Let's continue. He said the game made by Naughty Dog. That's not a valid fucking excuse. That's not. That don't make sense. That don't make sense.
I don't hate The Last of Us too. I
think he's just trolling. I just think he's trolling.
But I'm just saying.
Oh,
I gave y'all a full rundown of the history of The Last of Us Part 2, why people hate it, and the people that hate it don't actually understand the story. And people don't understand the story because when they started hating the game, the whole story was not spoiled. There was just one small scene, and everybody thought that scene in the beginning of the game was actually the end of the game, but in reality, it was in the beginning of the game. It set the whole tone for the game. You killed my father, I'm going to kill your father, now I'm going to track you down to where you live, and I'm going to kill you.
Jay,
it's a revenge story, people.
I ain't gonna hold you. I remember when it first leaked, and the Xbox niggas made the memes about a Joel in one with the golf club. I can't lie, I was fucking rolling when I seen that shit. There was nothing wrong with The Last of Us Part 2, man. The story was fucking heat, especially Abby's story. Abby's story, I think, was better than Ellie shit. And I think everybody can agree with that. And that's the thing that kind of weirded me out, because Ellie was low-key the main character of the first game, even though you played as Joel. But it's like you played as Ellie this time around. And if anybody played The Last of Us 2, and I think he agrees that Abby had not only the better story, but the better combat and the better weapon usage. Yeah. The better scenery. It was better. That's the thing that ticked me off, because I'm like, wait a minute, I get you're introducing a new character, but it's like you kind of buried your main character, who everybody knows story, and you gave this other character a better story. People literally hated Abby at first that she killed Joel. By the time they played the game, people loved Abby more than Ellie. That's the thing that bothered me. I'm like, you kind of buried Ellie a bit just to introduce Abby, and even me. How I like Abby more now.
But listen to this, bro. Me and you know wrestling, right? And they do that all the time. When we're older now, and we see these documentaries, and when they say, "Hey, we get them over," I've started realizing, oh, that's what you mean by over. Yeah, you make sure that they go over you. They're your successor. Like The Rock was the official legend of wrestling after he beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18. They made him more of the face, even though he was already the face, but they gave him that confirmation. You know, it's the same shit when Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels. Yes, they were both hot at the same time, but hey, Shawn Michaels took a long break, and they were ready for him to take that break, and then Stone Cold was going to be the face of the company. So, long story short, that's what they did with Abby and Ellie. It's really simple. Revenge story. Just think about wrestling. That's a revenge story, and they want to push Abby over Ellie. It wasn't set in stone based off of the hatred of the people on the internet. They had already made that story. That was going to be the story regardless of what you guys think. But it makes sense, man. Because to be honest, you fucked over humanity, and this is Joel, by robbing everybody of a real cure from the blood or the body of Ellie. And then, on top of that, you killed that girl's father. You could have pistol whipped him. You could have kicked him. You could have punched him. He's a doctor. He was not combat ready. You did not have to kill him, but you killed him anyway, and you took the girl. And then they hunted you down and kicked your ass and killed you in front of the girl that you helped save. And she knew deep down inside what Joel did. And she still went on a revenge run to kill Abby, even though she was mad at Joel way before Abby came into the picture.
And she was still mad.
Exactly.
AJ, I got a question. I am a Last of Us fan. I must say that. But the reason why Ghost made that much money, if anybody who played Assassin's Creed, the first 2 Assassin's Creeds, that's probably one of the best Assassin's Creed. You know, and after that, everybody want them to do the Japan thing. And Ghost did it. That's why it was so popular, because everybody wanted that. Everybody wanted that. A good samurai game. Everybody wanted it. That's why it was so popular.
Everybody wanted a good samurai game.
And it was well overdue, because have we had samurais and games? Yes. We might even had some samurai based games, but they were not done on the level of what's the name? They were not done on
Ghost.
See, Ghost killed 2 birds with 1 stone though. They had the good samurai and we had the good stealth with the whole ninja type.
Yeah, the ninja vibe, so, yeah.
That was it right there. That was a no brainer when they did that.
Oh, not to mention it was also open world.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know people love open world nowadays. So
it was kind of innovative too. Think about it. You could use the wind as your sense of direction instead of a map.
Instead of a map, and I really like that shit. It took a long time for me to get used to, but I really liked it. I really thought that was interesting.
Okay. See?
Hours. That shit was easier than I thought, because it kind of Metal Gear had something like that before. So
okay, so what you guys are looking at, I don't think there's no harm showing you this. Somebody basically found a way to glitch out the camera and look at the shit. I'm not sure what technology they were using, whether it's a computer or they use the glitcher photo mode, but they're able to go through the boundaries of photo mode. You know, that's how we look at shit now as console gamers. They were able to put that camera somewhere. They're basically saying, based off of the map of the single player, you can obviously see how big this map will be a good map for. Now, it's very true. It is very true. That right there, that is a pretty fucking big map. Now, they're not going to show all of it, but just that area where the motel was, gas station, and some of the other stuff. This is also this will be a pretty big map. This is a map where fight Tommy, he's sniping at you while you're playing as Abby. Really good map, because you go into the port place, you can go right around inside of there. The maps, as far as Uncharted 2, will be much bigger. So I can honestly say that no matter what other multiplayer modes we have, it would probably fit better to have a battle royale set. Again,
you guys know what would be dope inside of the Last of Us 2 multiplayer? If they added like Nathan Drake, a skin or a character.
Oh yeah, I hope they do a lot of cross promotion.
They need to do that, bro. That would be dope.
wait, what was it? What'd you say?
Add like a Nathan Drake skin.
Get
This would also be a pretty big map right here.
Because they did it for PUBG as well. Added Uncharted skins in it, so they probably would add it.
Yeah, they had Last of Us and Uncharted skins here. So I think that PlayStation needs to be comfortable with their legacy and their characters. Like, be alright with doing crossovers of your own IPs. See, that right there, this is a pretty big map, and this one you do have access to. This is the city map. This is the downtown map where you leave out the hotel, you know, and then you can run around a good part of the city. You got the gas station, you got the bookstore. You got a lot there that you can fucking explore. If any of these maps were to be added in a multiplayer environment, the best course of action it would be having those maps exclusive to a battle royale mode, because they're so big. I like how this guy did this. It was pretty dope that he.
What map you looking at?
You know when you're downtown on Last of Us Part 2, you got the bookstore that's across the street. Yeah, that one. That's a pretty big map. as the grocery store as well. It looks like a fun map to just shoot people up on.
Oh, Battle Royale.
Yeah.
A lot of these maps look like they're perfect for Battle Royale. Like,
Part 2 had the biggest maps, man. Part 2 had the biggest maps. Okay, here we go. Multiplayer Ellie helmet. Multiplayer Ellie helmet level 2 pack. Ellie or so armored. Yeah. Yeah, these are pretty much looking through all the multiplayer stuff. So yeah. Pretty dope. Again, the video's still up. That was my fault. Maybe I didn't watch it long enough for it to show up in my we know the multiplayer's there. Now we see these maps, even though we experience these maps, but we can see that they definitely would fit that type of mode of battle royale. They're big. Those are some big ass. What's your take on it, chat? What's the take? Battle Royale is almost as a dirty word as microtransactions or games as a service, but
yes,
it doesn't have to be, depending on the developer that implements it. So, yes, Last of Us and the 9, so 18 million. Yeah, a lot. Multiplayer would make people buy the remake again, especially if you remake the assets and make it look better and have more exploration. I see a lot of people going to pick up the remake just because it's a. I'm not excited about Call of Duty, so I know that a lot of people love Call of Duty. I just can't get excited. I've matured many thousands of years ago to not ever be excited about Call of Duty ever. But I am interested to see what happens with Call of Duty and Battlefield. I want to see those two go at it. I want to see them also be so big that they overlap Halo, which is gonna happen anyway. I mean, Splitgate is fucking killing Halo popularity and views. Last of Us 2 didn't flop, Andrew. Look, man, I don't know what people's problem with the game is. If you want to hate it, I can't stop you from hating the game, but you have to have valid reasons aside from just saying a game flops. Give me a reason why it flopped. Was it too many lesbians in the game? Is that why you think it flopped?
That was the next
is it made by Naughty Dog? Is that why you think it flopped? Oh, did Joel die too early? Is that why it flopped? Like, I know why you guys hate the game, but I want you to tell me why you hate the game. I know every reason that people have used on the internet to hate the game, and they all sound stupid.
We don't hate the game. We don't hate the game. We just know Ghost is the better game.
I'm not talking to you, Spartan. I already know what the deal.
It's definitely not. Definitely not.
I'm talking to
Andrew
Wilkins. I want to see what Andrew Wilkins said. I know he had a problem with the game, and I want to know what his problem with the game is. Just be honest, bro. Whether it make you look silly or not, just be honest with your answer. Just say, hey, I don't like that they use lesbians. Hey, I don't like that Joel died early. Hey, I don't like that I didn't get to play as Joel long enough. Like, give me real truth. Why don't you like the game? Be honest. I'm honest with you guys every time I get on air. The least you could do is just be honest about why you don't like the game.
Already.
3 million sales.
Not you. Andrew Wilkins. 3 million sales after it released is worse than a flop. It didn't do 3 million after it released. It sold 4 million in 3 days. It's one of the fastest selling PlayStation exclusives to ever release. But I need to know why you have a problem with it, Andrew. I've known you for a while. You supported the channel for a very long time. I want to know. Doesn't matter how silly your reason is, but tell me why you think the game flopped, in your opinion.
Hey, I answered you already. When it comes to that?
I know, but I'm not talking to you, Spartan. I know. You gave me your answer like 3 times. I'm talking to Andrew Wilkins. He's located in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking to him. So, Andrew, my eyes are going to still be on the chat. let me follow through with the rest of the stream. Let's see what PlayStation has posted on their YouTube.
Hey, Jay.
What is this?
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima also added multiplayer into the game.
Exactly.
Like right after.
Oh,
So that's another thing people liked about it. They added more content and it had hints before The Last of Us ever did for PS5. They added shit immediately, and right now they added an expansion to the game and an expansion to the multiplayer. So not
then
just
again, I said this yesterday. But as everyone said, The Last of Us is more detailed and that's why now it takes long. I said that's the reason why they're taking so long. They're slow.
right.
I've said this.
They should. They have the time to do that.
But they
Not had that. The finance, they do their studio, motion capture and everything. They fucking years behind. Naughty Dog has been doing that since 2004. Getting better with their motion capture and studios and everything like that. They've had the time for that. So it's different for them when it comes to this game. But the fact that Ghost of Tsushima is very detailed as well.
Whatever we do,
For their first huge game,
together.
it's kind of bad if you think about it.
I let me put it this way. I have no problem with Naughty Dog, right? But when if I compare them to the logic I was using as far as pushing someone over you, do I think that a lot more PlayStation studios need more exposure than Naughty Dog? Yes, they do. Sucker Punch is one of those studios that need more exposure. They made one of the best city-based sandbox / open world games we've ever fucking experienced. Like before Spider-Man came out, and wow, Grand Theft Auto 5 was out, and that's Infamous Second Son. Still, I have yet to play a game that is that old that looks that fucking good on PlayStation 4 or 5 with 60 frames per second and HDR. Like the game is Infamous Second Son for the PS4, yes. So would I want this studio to get pushed so over that they are started to give the favor that Naughty Dog has had for generations? Yes. Yes, give them the money, give them a studio, give them staff, let them do what they want to do because they have deserved it. They earned it fucking generations ago. Do you guys remember Infamous 2? Like the glow up from 1 to 2 on Infamous was just fucking perfect. Like they went and did everything they possibly could with Infamous 2.
Jay, Andrew responded.
Okay, let me.
Jay, like, here we go with the bullshit.
Of course, I like it, but I just kept an eye on how it was selling in multiple states.
No, up further.
4 million included pre-order. Further up. Truth is, the game wasn't hyped and steamed enough to influence to keep sales going, and many people returned to it and didn't like the story. I didn't say I didn't like it. I just tell it how it is. And I'm the same way, Andrew. And I just told you every reason that you gave me. I told you why. So if people return the game, they returned it because it was too many lesbians, or they didn't like that gay people were in it, or they didn't like that they didn't get to play. Hold on. I'm going to give you, hold on, everybody. Hold on. I'm giving you guys all the reasons that I now know. So let me give you all the reasons because it's a laundry list. Joel wasn't playable enough. Joel died too early. I didn't want Joel to die at all. I wanted Ellie and Joel to have a father-daughter relationship. I wish that Abby was more feminine. I wish that she had a boyfriend. Why did she have to be gay? You know, why did she do this? Why did that happen? Why did this happen when the story wasn't long enough? Where's the multiplayer? There are so many reasons. But so as long as you guys know that I know these reasons and this is why things happen, whether well, let me see what you said. This one right here. Truth is, the game wasn't hyped or steamed enough to influence. Huh?
It
Hyped or streamed enough to influence to keep the sales going. Well,
right.
that don't
Right.
matter. That part, the first part you said, don't matter. Because the perception of the game was already implanted into the minds of the consumers or would-be consumers. Before the game was in the hands of gamers that would stream it. Before the game was in the hands of people that would hype it up. I'm letting you guys know, from my point of view, I saw a shitload of people streaming. From my point of view, I saw a lot of people hyping up, sharing photo mode pictures even to this very day. So
I don't feel comfortable playing in front of my young boys. What?
Wait. I'm still lost on. I wish Abby was more feminine.
I don't get that.
Wasn't Abby fucking Owen? Like, she had a man.
Oh, they don't care about Abby. In the eyes of the haters, Abby is a transvestite. She has no love interest. She just killed Joel. That's all they know. They wrote Abby off before the game came out, and they didn't care that the game was out and the story was different. They didn't care. Abby is a tranny, and she killed Joel. She doesn't matter. She's the boss, or she's the bad guy. That's how the haters looked at it. Why? Because the game didn't exist yet. Nobody knew what the real story was. So they created a story from a leak. And that influenced people that did actually like The Last of Us to either not like it or go into the game with a certain perception. And like Andrew Wilkins said, from what he saw from his reporting, people returned the game or people didn't buy it in a lot of states.
Whose fault was that?
That was their fault. That was the consumer's weak mind. If you can be influenced by someone else without doing any research on yourself, you're weak. We are all different on this earth. Okay? Do I provide the news? Yes, but I do expect you to question me. Even if it annoys the fuck out of me. Because at least I know you're alive. That's all I'm saying. That's just me.
Just had too much. I think people got tired of controversy when it comes to games because it's like that's what they
True Woody, you said. Oh, okay, here we go. I found it. Arnold said, I don't feel comfortable playing in front of my young boys. You shouldn't be. I can go play this game right now and I can pump 8 holes into a body and you will see blood coming out of each one of those holes. This game is not for young people. They're not for young people. This game was never created to be for young people. I don't expect you to ever want to play The Last of Us, Call of Duty, Battlefield, any game where you can shoot somebody in the head and see blood. I don't expect young kids to be all right with that, or you to be all right with your young kids to see that type of gameplay in front of them. I'm sorry. Now, if you want to say that there was lesbian kissing and that's why, well, that's your opinion. That's cool too. Maybe they should definitely not be interested and introduced into that type of activity at a young age. I definitely agree with that. It's a mature game. It has mature themes. No kid should be introduced to The Last of Us at a young age. Sorry. It was never meant for young kids to watch their parents play.
None of these types of games are meant for young kids. GTA, Call of Duty.
I hope y'all know I could do this shit all day. I can destroy logic about this shit all day, bro. I can do this shit all year.
So you can't. You gotta go to work.
I quit my job. I'll be a fucking Last of Us advocate. You know?
No, you can't do this all day.
Let me see. Angry Joe was motivated, destroyed it. Wait up. Angry Joe was motivated, destroyed.
Oh, Angry Joe. Clever. Like Angry Joe.
I get it, yeah.
Oh, you said Angry Joe. Oh, okay, Angry Joe was motivated, destroyed it after he learned Joel Miller got killed by Abby. Yeah, exactly. If I was to talk to this guy again, I would make him look like an idiot. Okay, Joel got killed by Abby. You don't know who Abby is. So what are you supposed to do in a movie, in a TV show? When you're introduced to a character you don't know, you're supposed to continue to watch to see if they let you know who this fucking character is. Not only did they let you know why she did it, they let you experience her young version of Abby as well as the older version of Abby. And when else did they allow you to do that? in the first Uncharted when they introduced you to who? A little girl you didn't fucking know. Her name was Ellie. And you got to experience her young childhood as well as when she was grown. They did the same thing with Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. To give the fans a reason why she did what she did. What she had to lose, what she had to gain.
So,
what she was feeling.
Jay, whose story is better to you, Abby or Ellie?
I think Abby's story was better.
I know Abby's story is better. That's the damn shame. You
know, I think Abby's story was better, but it was, if it wasn't for Ellie, you would have never got to the hospital. So her story in the part 1 was really good, like, or at least let me say Joel's story and her and Joel's story, because they're a package deal in the part 1. Like, Joel is a smuggler, she's the cure. You're running across the country to deliver her to the doctor so they can find a cure for humanity and get shit back up and running. It's a great story. It's been told many times, and it will be told multiple times after The Last of Us. I like that type of story. I do
100% agree with you, Andrew. Tommy was a prick for that.
I agree. That's one thing I definitely agree with you on, Andrew Wilkins. I feel like the story had already been told and they could have ended it. I don't think that she needed to go to Santa Barbara and track down Abby and get revenge even after she got her ass kicked. So I think she should have just let it go.
Well, Abby fucked Ellie up.
Because after that, she lost everything.
Exactly.
After she lost everything, now
when she came back, she lost everything, and since she got nothing, there's no reason to do what she does. That story, as far as Ellie's story, Ellie's story should be done. She lost 2 fucking fingers. Her story is fucking done. Abby, she has to find the remaining Fireflies. There is a reason to bring her back in third game, if there is a third game. You got to think about, is there a reason? Joel was getting older. He was not the Joel that we were introduced to in the beginning of the Last of Us series. At a certain point, he was going to get so old or something was going to happen that we wouldn't be able to play as the character anyway. So they found a very good way to off him. Hey, the daughter of the doctor that you fucking killed is going to fuck you up and kill you. I think it was perfectly reasonable. It makes sense.
The only way they could make a third Last of Us is if Abby was the one to convince Ellie to go full circle and go back to the hospital.
Okay, let me read this one off from Andrew Wilkins.
I see that, like her sacrificing herself in the last game.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew Wilkins said, John, and I noticed all the agendas in this games and the satanic and Illuminati symbolism also is pushed hard in many games. I don't notice that shit.
Well, hold on, what did he say? Hold on.
Okay, let me read it again. He believes that the game has satanic, evil, demon fucking things going on in the game and Illuminati shit in the game. And that's being pushed in a lot of video games.
Now.
I'm getting frustrated because it's bullshit. Buy the game, play the game because it's a video game. When you start to think too much about that shit, you can't even enjoy video games anymore, bro.
They had a cult in the game, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. They had a cult. There's no Illuminati. They literally explained why the cult was there. No, I'm just saying Illuminati was not the cult. The cult in there was went by some other name. Are there parallels? Yes, because it's a fucking cult. Obviously. What do you think cults do? They do demonic shit all the time.
Bro, there was a cult in freaking what's that other game called?
Mafia?
No, Far Cry 5. There was a freaking cult in Far Cry 5. The whole thing was about a Christian cult.
Let me put it this way, bro. Y'all have problems with a video game that I've never thought about when I buy a video game, because I'm buying it because I want to play the game. I have gamer eyes when I look at a video game. I don't have political eyes. I don't have any hatred. I'm looking if the game is good and if I want to enjoy that story. You guys are looking completely different. So, These are all reasons that you are now bringing to my attention that maybe some other people saw. And this is another reason why other people that saw these things that you guys saw made the decision either not to buy the game or influence someone else not to like or buy the game. And that is also adding to the reason why Ghost of Tsushima was able to, let's say, dog stomp The Last of Us Part 2 in terms of longevity. Can we agree on that? Right?
Listen, I'm
a
Christian. The fact of the matter is, The Last of Us is still a good game. The coach in the game is not representative of freaking what's that thing called? What did he say? Illuminati?
Oh, yeah.
It was not a representative of the Illuminati. They had a code based on something completely different. It was a fictional code as well. Come on. The Last of Us is basically
what was
down world.
You said they introduced the enemy called the Rattlers. I forgot what enemies those are. Does anybody remember those?
No.
I don't remember. Polarizing deception isn't good. Of course it's not. I'm not going to disagree with any of you guys about all the reasons you're bringing to me why you don't like it and why other people don't like it.
Well, what happens when Ghost, if you ever hear Ghost sales has surpassed The Last of Us? Would you agree that gamers feel like that's the better game, or you just think they hated on one? And
I feel like if both of them had a clean slate and they just released, the story would have been different. You're looking at Arnold, you're looking at Captain Crunch, you're looking at Andrew Wilkins bring these things up. They're not the only people that saw this stuff or had a problem with it. So you got to really think, how deep does all of this stuff run? And yes, it's going to impact the sales.
There's a deep hatred for The Last of Us.
I mean, that's why I was naming off the laundry list, True Witty. Because you might not think it's real, but I've saw people have these specific reasons why they don't like the game, or they don't like it enough to buy it, or they don't like the game and they don't own the system, so they add to the hate even though they don't own the system and they never played the first one. Bro, there's a demographic of hatred inside of the hatred for The Last of Us. And it's at least like 30 fucking factions of people that hate it for all different types of reasons.
I think I still agree on that, because there was a franchise that's beloved and a system brand that's beloved versus one game from PlayStation in 2017. That would be the Breath of the Wild versus Horizon Zero Dawn. Breath of the Wild had hatred because they feel like they strayed from the original Zelda type of gameplay. And Horizon was a masterpiece. And Breath of the Wild is the better selling game and talked about game. So I can't really agree with you that when it comes to hate. And that's the reason, because you've seen Zelda. So more than one game of the year over Horizon, even though Horizon was
I can't ask you or anybody else to agree with me. I just present
so it's proof of that.
Hold on. I understand what you say, and you can disagree with me all day long, but you're still wrong. And I'll be the first person to look you in the eye and let you know you're wrong. You want to know why you're wrong? You want to know why you're wrong? It's fucking Zelda by Nintendo.
But it's fucking.
They never had the amount of hate that The Last of Us had. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild was hated on by a lot of people, man.
I didn't like the game because it was compared to fucking Horizon, but I still acknowledge it's a Zelda game. It's gonna sell better.
Bro, we have people who own Switches.
Bro, you gotta remember, man. If you're comparing that logic to Zelda versus Last of Us, you're automatically gonna be wrong. Let me explain. How many? Hold on. How many Zelda games were created before Breath of the Wild?
I believe 7.
Okay, how many Last of Us games were created before The Last of Us Part 2?
1, and it was beloved by everyone.
Okay, but it wasn't on the level of Zelda because it didn't last as long as Zelda. It wasn't out as long as Zelda. It wasn't a part of people's childhood like Zelda was. So you can't compare that type of hatred to Zelda's hatred because it's not on that level and never will be, bro.
But if The Last of Us had one game and it was more beloved than fucking Zelda,
it wasn't.
You really think so?
I
Because
played both, and I have more memories than from Zelda than Last of Us. Why? Because there were more Zelda games. So I'm sorry, you can't compare Zelda to fucking Last of Us. You can't.
But which one was more hype when it was
Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild was way more hype than Last of Us 1 and 2. Sorry.
I don't know about that.
Even to this very day, that's all people talk about. Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. Oh, this is like Breath of the Wild. Oh, this is compared to Breath of the Wild.
But that's just Nintendo people. I don't see like
that's everybody, bro. There are people that own a PlayStation system that said, "Oh, Genshin Impact is just like Breath of the Wild." They literally own PlayStation. I fucking said it.
It's
like, come on! And I haven't had a Nintendo system in years. I'm sorry. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is more overhyped than The Last of Us on a PS3. It's true. Sorry.
I can't give it that one because I know everybody was on for
I can't tell you what to give me. That's your opinion. I just give you the facts.
I've seen it, Jay. Nigga, PlayStation, Xbox, PC people.
Vegeta, let me get your super chat real quick. Vegeta, you said a $5 super chat. I see why Sony released Ghost of Tsushima after The Last of Us Part 2. Once I started playing Ghost, I couldn't stop. My only platinums are God of War and Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, that's good, man. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima had, what it had was that flow, that nice flow combat, which I hope they improve on through the next iteration of Ghost of Tsushima. The Japanese culture and open world Japanese game, which we have not really had a lot of. I think they did a really good job. I think they did a really good job. Huh?
Tell me, y'all, Ghost of Tsushima is
so I think The Last of Us it did something that a lot of other games didn't do.
Ghost is the better game.
But yeah, true. You could say that.
No, gameplay wise and everything, how people think about it. Even though The Last of Us had different ways to play and the dogs and all that was good improvements. Like that's something that Naughty Dog never really did, is take a risk like that. The fact that they had like multiplayer elements in a single player game, that was actually impressive. I like to give them that. But when it comes to game wise and seeing like what is the better game like to play, notice more people will talk about Ghost and Tsushima than The Last of Us. The Last one got 60 frames. People went back and played it, yes, but not to the level of Ghost of Tsushima. That should tell you, if you have fucking Xbox niggas bigging up Ghost of Tsushima over The Last of Us, which literally has the most Games of the Year awards.
Oh, they're the ones they're one of the ones who were hating on The Last of Us.
But there was also the ones hating on Ghost of Tsushima as well.
So I just wanted to do a little research. I think Last of Us is it at 18 million or is it over? Anybody know?
The total sales?
Yeah.
Of the first game?
Yeah.
I thought that was 20 already. No, that was over 20 since 2018. What you mean? On PS4 and PS3, it sold over 20.
No.
20.2 million.
I know somebody earlier in the chat said 18, but I haven't heard 20.
All right, I can find that right now. Hold on.
The Last of Us part. Oh, no. Let me say it this way. The Last of Us sold 20 million copies. Google should be able to help me find it.
First Last of Us, yeah.
The only person that said that was VG Charts, and they normally announce shit.
So it says 17, yeah. But 2019, it says The Last of Us, PlayStation Lifestyle, and all that shit.
PlayStation Lifestyle, Gaming Vault, they probably used a reference from
I'll put it in the regular chat room though. Like, let
me see.
The Last of Us 2 sold a lot more than what they saying, and I know that.
That's cool. I just go by facts.
That's PS4.
I'm sorry, man. I go by facts. I can't go by Spartan, man. Because when people ask JayTech, when people ask JayTech, they was like, "Do you got a link?" And I'm like, "Nah, I heard it from Spartan."
But I posted the link.
Let me see. Let's see if it's I don't use them. You know, the last time I used them during the PS3 generation, because they started putting out false news. I can't use them again. That's PlayStation Lifestyle. I haven't used these guys in almost 10 years.
But they was also saying how
they
Uncharted
started
4 top
burning me, bro.
16 million, they did. So
let me go. I'm gonna go see.
I mean, we all know Uncharted 4
no.
sold 16 though.
Damn it. Hold on. Let me go disable my ad blocker because they really want me to click on these stupid ass ads so they can make websites, make money off the website. This is one of the reasons why I stopped coming here, because they wanted to do so much clickbait in order to get you to click on the advertisements to make money that they stop actually caring about reporting on real news. So I'm gonna follow the information, and if they say the same thing that fucking Spartan says, I give Spartan a W.
I mean, that's not about W's, because I don't give a fuck about that winning shit. That's funny. Like I don't give a fuck.
So
like, you know me.
So what they did was they took me to Naughty Dog October 13th, 2019, and they talked about Uncharted 2, Among Us, Among Thieves, 10 years old today, blah blah blah. They don't really get information on that. Why did they include that? Okay, I thought they were gonna talk about the sales. Okay, blah blah blah. Has sold over 6 million copies, and that's Uncharted 4. Okay, Uncharted 4. Incredible money. Okay, the last. But why was this art? This is the one you sent, right? Oh, here we go. According to Nico, partner, analyst, Daniel, blah blah blah, sales figures for the former now sit at approximately 20 million on PlayStation 4. Meanwhile, Nathan Drake's last outing was weird one.
Well, that's what I'm talking. That's the last one.
The Daniel Ahmed is the one that said it, but he's been wrong multiple times to the point that he actually blocked me when I questioned him stuff on my last Twitter. So I'm not even sure if I can use them as a reference. Sorry. But again, as far as PlayStation, Naughty Dog, their official Twitter pages, their official YouTube pages, they have never celebrated The Last of Us being at 20 million or over 20. Their words. That's who I follow. Sorry. We're going to move on from
When was that?
Never.
When would they say that, though?
Never.
No, about 17.
What do you mean 17?
When did they say that? Their official page and all that.
That's what I'm saying. PlayStation and Naughty Dog never confirmed that The Last of Us was at 20 million. So
when did they say 17 million?
He said they never
said 17 million. 17 million was never a number. They gave 16 million copies sold, and that was from them about the Uncharted 4. But the number 17 million, nobody gave that number, and PlayStation and Naughty Dog never gave the number of 20 million. This is a big milestone, bro. We're not gonna hear this from PlayStation Lifestyle. We're not gonna have it from a failed supposed analyst that gets his information from someone else. No. And if he's going to get that information from Naughty Dog, then Naughty Dog will be the one that confirms it, and everybody will be talking about this, and I will be corrected because we wouldn't be arguing because I would know what you know. What you know is not the truth because I don't know that. And this is a big fucking milestone. Everyone in the world would have known that The Last of Us is at 20 million. As of right now, I just Googled it. We got what's his name? Breath of the Wild at 25 million. As far as launching on 2 platforms, one that was a failure and then the other one that was very successful. That's good for them. Most of the sales probably came from the Switch.
Remember they was buying 2 copies?
Exactly. Yeah, idiots was buying 2 copies. Last of Us, you can say double dip for the remaster and then the original PS3 version. I was one of those individuals that did it. You also at a certain point didn't even have to buy the game because they put it on Plus and then they put it as part of the Plus collection. If I'm mistaken.
Oh, correct.
I just want to see.
Yo, when Uncharted 4 go on the PC?
Whenever they're not taking L's as far as not giving out news.
It has not been confirmed.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, Sony have documents showing that shit.
Yeah, we did see the documents, but if I was them, bro, I would not want to confirm.
I would.
I would not want to confirm that information before.
You don't want to confirm that before you give out any game. You don't want to keep confirming PC exclusives.
Well, I mean, it's really up to them if they want to look like an idiot, but you really should just confirm or deny if Horizon is delayed. Then if you want to start talking about other shit, then you're free. But it's probably a fucked up look if you say, hey, Uncharted 4 is going to PC, but we're still going to delay the multiplayer for The Last of Us Part 2. We don't want to show you any gameplay for The Last of Us Part 2, but trust us, it's still coming. But while you wait, we're going to give this game to another platform. And then on top of that, other studios, well, they're going to delay their game. And I understand they were working on a PC port, but we want you to believe that that had nothing to do with it. So again, looks like a bad look. Because it is a bad look. But I've been waiting just as long as you, Spartan, for a confirmation. I think
so I can know to play it.
We got the information about what, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, from the
Call of Duty
financials.
Vanguard. What's it called, Vanguard?
Don't know. We'll find out on Thursday. Let me see. Any Thursday? Guys, I don't like taking L's, so I fight anybody on this shit. I gotta have the facts, bro. I'm not taking L's. I'm not running around here getting information from somebody that I don't know or that I don't trust, and then I get proven wrong by somebody that gives me the real information. Because we got haters lurking in the chat waiting for Jay to say something and say, you got that information from me. It don't even matter about this guy who you got it. You were wrong. You said it. You were wrong. Nah, I'm not taking L's. So if PlayStation don't confirm shit, I'm not fucking regurgitating that shit. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how cool you think I am with anybody. I'm not taking anybody's word for it. Sorry. It ain't happening. Is the MPD a true reflection of how good your console? Yes and no, because we only get that report once a month.
So you saw the Daniel Mont post and he said it sold over 20 million, right?
Said who?
The guy that blocked you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said that, but he didn't have a fucking link. His link went to the video from Naughty Dog.
That's weird. Why did he say that?
That's what I'm saying. Unless they got a fucking something else they were talking about. Let me go back to the Twitter link and scroll down. Maybe they confirmed it underneath. But that's a pretty big fucking milestone, and we still don't. I don't even know what the last number was for Last of Us. Oh, look the page. This was a celebration of 10 years for Uncharted 2. So I'm guessing around the 10-year mark they would give us a new number for The Last of Us. There's no point in speculating. Next year, The Last of Us will be 9 years old. This year they're 8. So we'll be getting a number soon from them. We might actually get an update before the show or after the show. I get an update around the trailer of the show because I know that they're done filming the show, so maybe there'll be a teaser or something.
Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be my show.
I still think it's kind of weird to have the show come out and then you're gonna remake the story. So I don't know.
Yeah, unless the show is gonna be different.
But then again, the remake is gonna be different from the original story that we were told with the original game. So
that's what I'm saying. They're trying to change the story.
Yeah,
which I don't make sense.
I don't got any information on The Last of Us being at 20. Everybody should have had that info. And you know something ain't true when we're all trying to figure out where the source came from. Sorry, it should be so fucking easy to get this information if it's true. So
the only other one I got is VG charts.
Yeah, that's what the first link that popped up on Google, and I don't trust them.
For what sales?
For Last of Us charts. I remember VG chart confirming 10 million 2 weeks before PlayStation actually did.
So Polygon got it topping 17 mil. What are you guys trying to say?
Oh, that's the number that Spartan was talking about then, 17.
Yeah, 17 because I heard y'all niggas say 17, and I don't remember that being the number.
That might have been an old number. I might have just out on a Google search. Because you gave it out for PlayStation anyway, but The Last of Us,
only thing I keep seeing is 17. No, the only thing I keep seeing for The Last of Us was from 2018, and I see the number 17 million.
Yeah,
and I know
Naughty Dog announced that.
And I know that's, and I don't see no Naughty Dog tweet because usually they wouldn't announce that.
I mean, we're saying the same stuff about Spider-Man, but they still haven't given us an update. When they give us an update, that's the number we're supposed to run with. We can't just say, hey, I know it's this. I know it's this. Might be lower. It might be higher. I know, it's boring to wait for real news. It's boring to wait for facts. That's what I do. Because I don't want to run around taking L's, saying something that nobody else confirmed, and then it's complete opposite of what I'm fucking saying.
So what are they telling you it's sold?
I don't think no. Hold on.
If they wasn't able to announce that before Sony announced it, I would trust them a little bit.
You talking about the 17 million or 20 million?
No, the shit for the 10 million.
So when you search Last of Us sales number, it says 17 million by April 2018. That's what it says. The last number we got was 2018, and then they put the game on Plus. And then when the PS5 came out, they also had a remastered version on Plus, which is not going to really have anybody buy the game anymore. More than that. I believe so. I believe that it didn't stop at 17 million, but we still don't have a number. The only 20 million number we're getting is from VG Charts, which says on April 4th, 2020. Game Industry Biz
has it. Everybody else have it.
Okay. Let me go.
So I'm looking on it right now. And sales right now. Sales. I don't know, man. Because I see the same shit other places. Essential. What's that? Essential.
I trust GameIndustry.biz, so we'll see.
VG Chart says it.
I don't trust them.
Push Square says it. Game Industry Biz. They
I just went the
PlayStation Lifestyle said it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Those are the ones. Those guys, I don't believe them motherfuckers. I don't believe them. Nah, because they just took me to Ahmed, and then Ahmed said it, but he didn't have a link to Sony actually confirming it. His link went to Naughty Dog talking about.
Sony has really confirmed numbers a lot recently. They did The Last of Us, but Ghost of Tsushima has got sales numbers, and it wasn't from Sony. But
and that was after it got to 2 million. The earlier that
6.5. I don't see nobody really talking about it though. So I don't know, man. It's kind of worrying.
The Last of Us Part 2 million.
How much do I think The Last of Us?
Does anybody have the link to be the Game Industry? Because I got to get up out of here. So
for which game? Spider-Man?
For The Last of Us series sitting at 20 million because I just don't have it.
I can't find that shit. Man.
That's what I'm saying. I can't find it either, but at least I found.
I believe it.
So I can.
Low key, because it's been
like I say, it's been a long time since 2018. It's 2021. I'm pretty sure it should be higher, but as far as the number we got on file, not at 20 million yet.
Uncharted 4 reached 16, and I think a little under 2 years, and The Last of Us. First game is much better than that one for a lot of people, especially Game of the Year awards. I don't think The Last of Us was sell more.
Thank you. Wish I could, man.
My bad. This win. That was win. I'm walking.
Okay.
So tomorrow's Tuesday. I didn't get to cover the rumor for the supposed state of play, but let me cover that real quick. PlayStation fans should keep a close eye on August 17th. This is coming from Game Rant, which also blocked my last Twitter account that is now suspended because I called them out on posting clickbait. This is coming from the same Game Rant, which posts a lot of clickbait. A very generic looking website. Game Rant is a part of Games Beat, which is where Jeff Grubb works.
Boy.
And this is what I want to read off. They say a potential announcement from Sony is possible to come at August 17th, with the date specifically allowing fans to manage their expectations. Okay, that's not good. The gaming industry is no strangers to rumors. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. State of play patterns is clockwork. Wow. Did y'all just see that? Did y'all hear that? State of play pattern is like clockwork. Now, who the fuck talks about timetables and fucking patterns? Because I could have swore it was me. The fuck is this shit? I could have swore we had the smallest podcast in the YouTube gaming community, but motherfuckers are still watching us. Okay, that is weird. That one's
watching
weird.
And stealing.
That is just weird. Who the fuck, bro? I probably say patterns like once a fucking stream, bro. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Let me read that again. The state of play pattern is like clockwork. Now listen what they say. A rumor monger is going to make up the state of play event. It's going to be on a Thursday. That's because every state of play in 2021 has taken place on a Thursday. These are my words. Literally. Bro, they don't know shit. If they got their information from me and I don't know shit, they don't know shit. There ain't shit happening tomorrow, bro. Forget that shit.
Word for word what Jay said.
That's word for word what I said. You guys don't believe it, I'm gonna post the link. Scroll on down. These motherfuckers on some shit.
Now that's when you get frustrated.
That's some bullshit. We're shutting the stream down. I can't watch the people that are watching me because YouTube doesn't tell me who's watching me. But it is really, really funny that I talked to Sam about it. I talked to Games for Eternity about it. People show up on my stream, get information, give it to somebody else. And I don't have information. I go off of patterns and I go off of knowledge of what I know, what's confirmed. If it's not confirmed, I'm not talking about it. If it doesn't even look like it could be real. And if it looks like a rumor, what I'm doing, we're doing Rabbit Hole. It's a segment that we're going to start. We're diving into rabbit holes 1 hour during the Sunday show. And then if it gets big enough, we will have it on Wednesdays only by itself. It will be a stream that is a part of PlayStation Legion. And it will be called Rabbit Hole. It will be PSLOG, Rabbit Hole. And then it will be talking about whatever rumor. And that will be on Wednesdays. But we're going to test it out on the Sunday show up until the end of September. This
Rabbit Hole is the name?
Rabbit Hole, because that's where people like to jump down those rabbit holes. This motherfucker took my fucking shit. And they made an article. We were just talking about this shit, Spartan. They made up 3 rumors this weekend coming from Dealer Gaming's podcast. And this Game Rant literally took my information and made an article about it. Joke's on you, motherfucker. I don't really know when the event is. I just know when they have their events. So
they did it to Thrash too. Don't worry.
They did it to Thrash. I'm pretty sure they did. Bro, I talked to y'all about this shit yesterday, and yes, I'm gonna have to get ready to go. But the game industry, and I know we can verify this with fucking Spartan, is locked out of access with PlayStation. They are not in the good graces of PlayStation, and they are no longer, or they should no longer be certified as PlayStation insiders. Why? Because you can't get inside the fucking building. You can't get inside of these studios. You can't get inside the company. You don't know shit.
You're blacklisted.
Exactly. So now what the industry, what the journalists are doing, they're running around YouTube getting information from us to then give us back that same information that they got from us in the first place.
Because then it looks better if it comes from media. You know, so if it just comes from like a YouTuber, they're like, oh, we don't believe it, bullshit. But if it comes from the media based off what the YouTuber says, it looks better.
Bro.
Sorry, but that's just how it is.
I swear I never really... I knew we had people watching us. I didn't know an article would be made off of the past. Well, actually, I did. I talked to y'all in private about that. That shit's funny. Everybody, we'll be here tomorrow. I don't believe shit's happening tomorrow because I don't know what PlayStation's doing. But what we will be doing tomorrow, since I downloaded Marvel Avengers, the PS5 edition, to my SSD, we will be diving into the Black Panther DLC. So that should be fun.